Elizabeth Warren popularized the 50-20-30 budget rule. The rule suggests dividing your after-tax income into three spending categories: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings. This rule can help you draw up a reasonable budget that you can stick to over time in order to meet your financial goals. Let's delve deeper into its details. But before we do that, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. 50%. Needs. Needs are those bills that you absolutely must pay and are the things necessary for survival. Half of your after-tax income should be all that you need to cover your needs and obligations. If you are spending more than that on your needs, you will have to either cut down on wants or try to downsize your lifestyle, perhaps to a smaller home or more modest car. Maybe carpooling or taking public transportation to work is a solution, or cooking at home more often. Some examples of needs include rent or mortgage payments, car payments, groceries, and utilities. 30%. Wants. Wants are all the things you spend money on that are not absolutely essential. Anything in the wants bucket is optional if you boil it down. You can work out at home instead of going to the gym, cook instead of eating out, or watch sports on TV instead of getting tickets to the game. This category also includes those upgrade decisions you make, such as choosing a costlier steak instead of a less expensive hamburger, buying an expensive car instead of a more economical one, or choosing between watching television using free options or spending money to watch cable TV. Basically, wants are all those little extras you spend money on that make life more enjoyable and entertaining. 20%. Savings. Finally, try to allocate 20% of your net income to savings and investments. You should have at least 3 months of emergency savings on hand in case you lose your job or an unforeseen event occurs. After that, focus on retirement and meeting other financial goals down the road. Examples of savings could include creating an emergency fund or investing in the stock market. Americans are well known for their low savings rates and high levels of debt. In August 2023, the average personal savings rate in the United States stood at a mere 3.9%. The 50-20-30 rule serves as a practical guide to help individuals effectively manage their after-tax income, with a primary focus on building financial security through emergency funds and retirement savings. It is essential for every household to prioritize the creation of an emergency fund to prepare for unexpected events like job loss or unforeseen medical expenses. In cases where the emergency fund is used, replenishing it should be a top financial priority. Additionally, saving for retirement is of utmost importance, especially considering that people are living longer. Starting early and setting a retirement savings goal are key steps to ensure a financially comfortable retirement. Let's look at the benefits of 50-20-30 budget rule. First, it's incredibly user-friendly. The rule provides a simple budgeting framework that's easy to understand and apply. You can allocate your income without the need for complex calculations, making it accessible to individuals of all financial literacy levels. Second, it promotes financial balance. With a budget in place, you can manage your money in a harmonious manner. You ensure your essential expenses are covered, set aside funds for discretionary spending, and actively save for the future. This means you can simultaneously save for upcoming goals, address current needs, and enjoy some financial flexibility. Furthermore, the rule encourages you to prioritize vital expenses. By designating 50% of your budget for needs, it guarantees that your fundamental requirements are met without overspending or accumulating excessive debt. Equally important is the emphasis on savings. By allocating 20% of your income to savings, you can establish an emergency fund, prepare for retirement, or work towards various financial objectives. Consistent saving practices enable you to build a financial safety net, providing security for unexpected expenses and future goals. Lastly, the rule fosters long-term financial security. By dedicating 20% of your earnings to savings, you give precedence to your financial future. This sustained commitment to saving allows you to accumulate wealth, meet long-term financial aspirations, and instill a sense of financial security for yourself and your family, whether you're approaching retirement in the short term or long term. There isn't a single budgeting method that suits everyone, as each person's financial situation is unique. Nevertheless, here are some broad suggestions for embracing the 50-20-30 budget that can apply to anyone. To get a better grip on your spending patterns, start by noting down what you spend for a month or two. Categorize your spending into 3 groups: things you need, things you want, and money you save. This will give you a good idea of how well you're sticking to the 50-20-30 plan. Also, be aware that your total income can be a lot more than the money you actually take home due to taxes. So it's crucial to know what you earn and what lands in your bank account each payday. This helps set the right budget amounts for these 3 categories. Identify your most important expenses, the ones you can't avoid, like rent and bills. These often take up the biggest piece of your budget, so watch this group closely. These expenses are non-negotiable, and once you commit to them, there's not much room for flexibility. To make saving money easier, automate the process. Set up regular transfers from your checking account to your savings or investment accounts. This way, your savings grow without you having to do it manually. Successfully following the 50-20-30 budget rule means being consistent. Stick to your spending plan over time and resist the urge to overspend or change your budget percentages. Clear guidelines that you follow every month are key to making this plan work. Let's look at an example to help you better understand the 50-20-30 rule. Imagine a recent college graduate who's just landed her first full-time job. She's eager to kickstart her financial journey and has heard about the 50-20-30 budget rule. To take control of her finances, she decides to give it a shot. She begins by tracking her spending for a month using a budgeting app that sorts her expenses into needs, wants, and savings categories. After calculating her monthly after-tax income, which amounts to $3,500, she uses this as the foundation for her 50-20-30 budget. After reviewing her expenses, she finds that her essential costs are around $1,750 per month. So, she designates 50% of her income, precisely $1,750, for these necessities. She then allocates $1,050 for discretionary spending and sets aside $700 monthly for retirement and savings, ensuring an automatic transfer from her checking account to her savings on payday. As her career advances, she reevaluates her budget due to income changes and adjusts her expenses accordingly. She also revisits her budget regularly, making necessary tweaks. She recognizes that her transportation expenses are higher than anticipated. She opts to carpool with a coworker to cut costs. Through discipline and consistency, she stays committed to her budget, prioritizing her financial well-being and regularly monitoring her progress towards her goals. As she advances in her career, she adapts her budget to align with shifts in income and new priorities. In the long run, she's not only covering her immediate needs but also building a secure financial future. Saving can be tough, and life often surprises us with unexpected expenses. When you follow the 50-20-30 rule, you've got a clear strategy for handling your money after taxes. If you notice that you're spending more than 30% on things you want, it's a signal to cut back on those expenses. This way, you free up cash for crucial things like emergency savings and retirement. Life should be enjoyable, and you don't need to live like a monk. But having a plan and sticking to it ensures you can cover your costs, save for retirement, and still do things that bring you joy.